Did y'all know that black people is the problem in America? Yeah, black people are the problem, is the reason why the wealthy is going broke and they're having so much problems. It's because of us and our welfare fraud and the scamming we be doing. Even though it ain't us mainly that's on welfare and stuff like that. Yeah, did you know that? That is not just us that's on the food stamps and stuff. We're not the main people that's on that stuff. But somehow we are the reason, and we're being used as a scapegoat for these people to say that this is why the finances that the government has been supplying, why it's so short. It's because of us. I did not know this, y'all. And I want everybody to brace themselves, because the clip we're going to be reacting to is some old MAGA guy. And this is what they do. They're all in cahoots with one another on keeping us down and keeping us oppressed and wanting to lock us up. That's their main goal. They want the work from us. They want the sweat equity from us. And they don't want us to benefit off the work that we put in from building America. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. Slavery is still here, y'all. And what they're doing is trying to enforce it and make it like it was back in the day. But we ain't going for that shit. I'm telling you now. Now, when I say this clip is going to discuss you, it's going to discuss you. So brace yourself. Make sure you ain't around nobody that you don't like, because you might get to swinging. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the problem is the blacks. I know that it's like we're going back to that, David. Listen very carefully to what Republican Congressman James Comer said here. Comer goes, there's rampant fraud, especially in minority communities.
But we're not the ones that's mainly on these assistance. People are coming from other countries, are getting on all these government assistance and reaping all the benefit, way more benefits than we are. Trust me, y'all.
The problem is not wealthy suburbs or rural counties or everywhere equally. The fraud problem is non-white people.
It's us.
If you have been following American politics long enough, you know that this is an old trope that is back.
And y'all know I don't even follow politics. I don't care nothing about no politics. But when I see people like this talking about our people, boils my blood.
Republicans lose an election they don't like. And instead of going, why did voters reject us? They start looking for cheaters. This applies both to voting and also welfare programs, etc. They love to insist it's the minorities cheating in elections and it's the minorities cheating in welfare programs. Take a listen to what James Comer had to say.
We're seeing so much fraud in the Medicaid program in particular is because that's federal money that goes to the states. Then the states administer their own Medicaid programs. And what we're seeing, especially in the blue states, is there's rampant fraud, especially in the minority communities, and they're turning a blind eye to it for political reasons. That's the bottom line. That's what those state employees in Minnesota said, and that's what's happening. And I think the only way we're going to stop it is if people are put in jail.
Notice he don't expound on all the fraud that's going up there in the offices and shit that he in. Understand, these people are getting away with billions upon billions of dollars of fraud. So don't come over here talking about, the little tater head that's in front of Food Line, that he's the reason why that y'all suffering. And y'all not getting elected or however that shit go, because I don't follow it. But I want y'all to notice how his main point is that these people need to be locked up. That's what they want, y'all. They want this land just to be theirs. They don't want us in this land, even though that we was on the land first, before Christopher Columbus. We was on the whole earth first. When it even back when the Moors been discovered all the lands already. But what they want to do, they want to rush. They want to rush and feed us lies. This is why they lying to our children in the schools. This is why they lying to our children through the books. They hurry up and print out all these lies in these books and hurry up and enforce it to our children and have them studying lies. Got our children walking around with their type of mindset. And then when they grow up, they start to think that they're better than their own people. That's because of people like this right here. Have everybody thinking that we're the problem. But he don't want to address the real problem. He don't want to address the problem is that a lot of his people are on these assistance, Medicaid program and all of that stuff. A lot of his people are doing the fraud because it's online. I done seen it. It's people out there in West Virginia. It ain't no buildings nowhere. The interviewer said, "How you making your money?" He said, "Yeah, we be selling these food stamps. That's what we be doing." I said, "There you go. There you go, right there. You can't come over here and try to blame Tyrone ain't selling no $1 billion worth of food stamps. Matter of fact, Tyrone ain't even got no Medicaid. You know why? Tyrone mother, who he 45 years old, his mother got his ID. So you can't even blame Ty. You lying, boy. That's your people that's on them damn assistants. Stop lying. Let's get some more commentary, yo.
In jail.
By the way, his pronunciation of program as pogrom is very interesting to me, but that's not really the focus of this particular episode. You know, it's always the same story with these people. The cheaters are certainly in the blue states, but especially in the cities. And they're in the most urbanized areas of the cities. And it just so happens that they're the communities with lots of black and brown voters. This is such an old pattern. And notice something else. There's no evidence presented. There's no statistics that are offered for us or an investigation or certainly no prosecutions and convictions. It's just rampant fraud by minorities. If the fraud were truly rampant, there would be proof everywhere, and yet they are unable to find it. We would be seeing arrests and court cases and criminal charges and maybe a conviction or two and someone going to prison. Instead, we get political talking points. Now,
one thing I do notice, if you get a YN that's out there unaliving people, let's take somebody like somebody that's like King Von or something like that, who they know is out here unaliving people. They even talk about it. The person that's doing the unaliving themselves, they let these people go freely. Because why? Because they know they're unaliving their own people. They like that. These people like that. They like stuff like that. They like that. So why is it that they let them out free and they're trying to arrest people that they claim that's doing fraud? Our people ain't doing no fraud. That's their. A lot of our people that's out in the streets don't even mess with computers and stuff. You got to be all technical. Man, that's they people, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Trust me when I say this. Y'all be hearing these rappers talking about they scamming and all that shit. They not scamming. They haven't even scratched the surface. Now, the original scammers with these pyramid schemes and all of that, that's them. That's their expertise. That's stuff that they know how to do.
We've been through this in other ways. He's talking about Medicaid fraud here, but we've been through this sort of routine before. Remember after the 2020 election, the recounts and the audits and the court challenges and investigations and Republican election officials reviewing Republican states and all of it. And there was just no evidence. We are 6 years into that. They still claim it was rigged, but they've presented no evidence, and the narrative is able to survive. The narrative itself is what's useful to them. They are beyond needing evidence for this to be politically useful. If you can convince supporters that losses happen.
Nobody cares about the truth if the lie is more entertaining. You wouldn't believe how many people, grandparents, grand aunts and all of that, they so wrapped up into these politicians and all of that. It's like a game. It's a game to them. This ain't nothing but a game. These are the original Bloods and Crips right here, if you really want to talk about it. And they don't do no little street battles. They go to war. You know what I'm saying? These are the original Crips and Bloods. Stop, listen. Y'all think it's all sweet because you see people in a suit and ties. No, these are the real gangbangers right here.
Because somebody cheated, and you've got a scapegoat for that, you never have to change anything. And in fact, when it comes to, if we shift now from election fraud to Medicaid fraud, if you can convince people that there are these attractive scapegoats for your political purpose, these black and brown people are cheating the system and your taxpayer money is going to them, this movement of MAGA people will be way more willing to accept going after those programs. If it's really true that the blacks and the browns are taking my tax money to lie about deserving Medicaid, I'm okay with Trump cutting Medicaid because I don't want my...
You know why it's so easy for him to lie and get away with it? Because he know that there are millions of people out there who don't like us and they're willing to just accept the lie. All because of some underlying hate issues. They hate us. This is why it's so easy not to have no proof or no backup. Because he know that it's millions of people that's just like him who just hate us. They don't want any proof. That's how that goes. But y'all make sure y'all hype this video, subscribe. The link go be in the description because he be cooking these people. He be cooking these people. I got to give him that. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kish signing out. Gone, y'all.